Hello again. Welcome back to the Movie Buff Reactions channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to the Nostalgia Critic's first episode in his Pirates of the Caribbean month. As a kid, I grew up and just gorged myself on the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. They were just a kick-ass, awesome blockbuster franchise that I loved going back to over and over again, and I saw the third and fourth movies in the theater. The fourth one, well, I know that got a lot of mixed and pretty negative receptions. I did enjoy it at the time. I never saw the fifth one just because I think by that point my interest had kind of gone down a bit, but I still have a strong fondness for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I got them on my shelf right next to me here, and I'm not gonna go through every Pirates review here one by one. I know the Pirates month ended a bit ago, but I wanted to wait a little before I got to at least the first one, because the first one is undeniably still the probably the most superior one, although Dead Man's Chest was my most rewatched one growing up, and just curious to see what Doug has to say, because I know he was a little mixed on the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I think he mentioned that in his Disney December review, and I was say other than Captain Jack Sparrow, Captain Barbossa, fucking awesome. So, without further ado, let's jump into this fucking thing.
This episode brought to you by Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Also brought to you by Chime, the award-winning app and debit card that can save you money today.
Gotta get the sponsors in.
I'm coming to Dublin. Come see me in Ireland at Vaticon, March 25th to the 26th. And the weekend right after that, you can see me in Chicago at C2E2, March 31st to April 2nd. Hope to see you there. Avast, me mateys! I am Hunter Sparrow, and welcome to Pirates Month. What was seen as a half-baked idea, literally laughed at by audiences just from the poster and teaser, turned into one of Disney's biggest franchises. With 5 films in the lineup, one good and the others there, the Pirates of the Caribbean became even more iconic than the original iconic ride. To a point where instead of making the movies more like the ride, they made the ride more like the movies.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp an Academy Award nomination made Pirates cool at a time when honestly they were kind of at the height of annoyance, and allowed Disney to finally venture into PG-13 movies. I, for one, can't wait until we get some R-rated flicks in there. There's a lot of flicks to get through, and we're going to do exactly that all this month. Isn't that right, Will Turner?
Aye, Black Sparrow is ready to set sail.
You're not a sparrow.
I am a sparrow, a black sparrow.
Prove it.
Black sparrows are black.
Exactly. You have a qualified.
Got a black guy, might as well make the best of it.
Captain Tam Sparrow here, savvy, and all that nautical talk.
And with your token lady as well.
Savvy, I'm savvy. Savvy?
Savvy?
What?
Cut!
Savvy.
What the hell, man? You two are supposed to be Will and Elizabeth.
Nobody wants to be Will and Elizabeth.
The only person they remember is Jack Sparrow, and also sometimes the guy who's like Tim Curry, but he's not Tim Curry.
Jeffrey Rush.
That's the one.
And it makes sense anyway.
Show some
How much people wanted
respect.
to be Jack Sparrow when the film came out.
And do terrible Jack Sparrow impressions like Malcolm's here.
Oh, come on. Will and Elizabeth were important too. They had so many classic lines, like...
There's one about a corset, I think.
Exactly! That classic line Will said.
Elizabeth.
They're not that bad.
Let's face it, the only
I enjoyed
people
them.
like these movies was for Jack Sparrow.
Now that's not true. As indicating people liked all the movies.
You know what he means, though. The success was due to him.
I still think there's more to it than that. And to prove it, I'm gonna play Will and Elizabeth, and I will let you two play Jack Sparrow.
Oh boy.
That's really big of you.
No problem at all. I'm gonna go change in the costume to prove my point.
Man, maybe he does have a point.
Yeah, if he's willing to play both characters, which... How was he supposed to do that?
I think the better question is, why is he locking the door?
Come on,
It's all about me, mate. Drink up me, holding your hand. Released 20 years ago in 2003,
Fucking wild, man.
Pearl exceeded almost everybody's expectations. I'm really not kidding when I say audiences thought this would be one of Disney's biggest blunders. I remember people passing by the poster saying, oh my god, are they really doing this? Even when the trailers came out, I heard people laughing at how ridiculous Johnny Depp looked and that Jerry Bruckheimer was producing. Are we supposed to take this seriously, I heard somebody ask? And as it turns out, not really. Despite being marketed as a badass action flick, Pirates had a really goofy sense of humor. Helmed by the same team who penned Shrek, Aladdin, and other adventures,
Huh.
comedic edge. But on top of that, it also had a twisted side to it.
Yeah.
Verbinski clearly liked to work with a dark edge in his work, and with Disney saying they wanted to toughen up a little bit with their first PG-13 rating, Pirates turned out to be a good outlet for him. As for Depp, yes, his performance did play a big part in the film's success, but I think we've seen he's not always the secret ingredient to a good film. I think there's more to the series being a hit outside of just his iconic performance. So let's go ahead and take a deeper look.
It's got style.
Hey, he's not even staying in costume!
How the hell are you seeing me right now?
We can't.
Well, keep quiet until I'm done with the review.
Well, we could still play Will and Elizabeth.
That is so 3 minutes ago, which in internet time is like 3 weeks. I'm moving on.
Can we at least get food?
He said hush.
That's not a thing.
This is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Ooh, this film is too tough to have the Disney logo before it. I guess this was to show there's no more kid stuff, it's all adult now. Clearly. We open with a ship sailing the sea when a crewman named Gibbs, played by the underrated Kevin McNally, tells a young Elizabeth Swan not to sing about pirates.
Bad luck to be singing about pirates. Bad luck to have a woman on board, too. Even a miniature one.
Remember that line being less ewy? She's with her father, Governor Swan, played by Jonathan Pryce. And
Brazil.
this film has a weird way of calling back to other Disney films. Callbacks are everywhere in Disney flicks, and they're usually very clever because they work in some humor. But these are just there. For example, he's dressed as Captain Hook.
Coincidence, I think.
Barbossa offers an apple that Elizabeth thinks is poisoned. Sure. And look, this guy's the Little Mermaid.
A little mermaid flopped up on deck and told him the whole story.
Okay, maybe that one. The other ones seem like coincidences.
Now the Kraken spat out a mermaid skeleton with red hair. That would be hilarious.
Look, a boy! There's a boy in the water!
Elizabeth sees a boy in the water and alerts the crew. Is it a Vigo Mortensen? No, it's an Orlando Blue.
Wonder what he was doing on that ship to begin with.
Survivor of a shipwreck, and Elizabeth notices something he presumably stole from a train.
Pirates.
There's no proof of that. It's probably an accident.
Yeah, it was probably the wind. It's always the wind. The wind set the ship on fire.
Maybe someone dropped a
Later,
pipe.
Elizabeth is now played by Keira Knightley, and the boy named Will grows up into Orlando Blue.
I have a gift for you.
Beautiful.
Isn't it?
Don't you think it'll look lovely on me? She's also introduced to a corset.
Women in London must have learned not to breathe.
Now, Mum, you don't need that rib. You got plenty more.
Introduced to Jack Sparrow, played by Johnny Depp, in what many have called one of the greatest character intros of all time.
That it is.
It's a great scene because this finally let people know after seeing all the ads where they make Sparrow look like a badass, oh, he's supposed to look ridiculous.
Works with what he has.
Depp worked hard at getting the look and actions of this character down, but sometimes a little too hard. While most people know he heard that pirates were the rock stars of their day, so he played them like Keith Richards, many don't know that while Verbinski said yes to almost all of Depp's costume choices, he drew the line at an artificial nose that would fall off every single time he sneezed. Yeah, I think something was definitely going on with Depp's nose when he recommended
Good
that.
reining him in moment.
Makes this one here a bit superfluous, really. Apparently there's some sort of high-toned and fancy to do up at the fort, eh?
And like that, Russell Brand saw this performance and said, I can do that the rest of my life, but bad. Commodore Norrington, played by Jack Davenport, starts proposing to Elizabeth. She passes out due to the tightness of the corset, resulting in Sparrow saving her.
Will you be saving her then?
I can't swim.
I only dog paddle.
He's discovered to be the famous outlaw, though, and immediately arrested.
These are his, sir. A compass that doesn't point north.
No, it only points to what your heart wants, or whatever bullshit we make up in the next one pretending we had these planned all along.
Well, the supernatural stuff kind of excuses it.
Heard of, but you have heard of me.
I am the original hate watcher. He manages to escape, though, and works his way into Will Turner's smithy. He breaks his chains with a wheel. Hey, these people wrote cartoons, you're gonna
It's
get
pretty creative.
And he runs into Turner, who tries to stop his escape.
Excellent form. How's your footwork? First step here. Very good.
So I'm not going to pretend the writing in this is spectacular. It is more clever than I think people give credit for. Well,
Very
it is
clever.
at times a little exposition-y.
You've seen a ship with black sails that's crewed by the Dow.
Who makes all these? I do. And I practice with them 3 hours a day.
Operating on ships and settlements for near 10 years.
Adversary demands parley. You can do them no harm until the parley is complete.
There's enough information crammed into certain moments you might miss upon first viewing. Sparrow testing Turner's footwork is not only an excuse to have an action sequence, but it's also used to show how clever he is moving him closer towards the exit. When he pulls out the gun, it not only shows that he's a cheat, but also that he doesn't want to use it for certain reasons.
Pirate.
For later. But he will if he has to. He is still a cutthroat.
Please move.
No!
This shot is not meant for you.
A lot of scenes are like that, kind of doing two things at once. Sparrow is captured, though, as the film tries to remind you, oh yeah, this was based on a riot, right?
This was a good
John's
tie-in.
never going to move.
Excuse us if we haven't resigned ourselves to the gallows just yet.
First time.
Mm.
Sparrow's former ship, the Black Pearl, arrives as the golden piece Elizabeth had called to them in the water.
This was a wonderfully brutal scene.
Okay, this is gonna sound like an odd comparison, but these pirates kind of remind me of the nuns from Sister Act. In that they really didn't have to give them that much personality. Like, you do appreciate that every single one feels unique. They could just casted extras in these roles, but no, they went out of their way to cast character actors who really do leave an impression. I especially love this one guy who's obsessed with explosions. His crazy love for them is like a mix between Art the Clown and that weird bomber from The Tick. Seriously, what is this guy thinking answering the door?
Fucking retard, I guess.
Oh, I think too happy.
Wait, how does he know it's hot if later they say they can't feel anything? In fact, how'd this guy get hurricane knocked with that
That's a
pan?
fair point.
Our movie sucks now. I thought it was good until it was bad.
Just a reminder, Sparrow doesn't get all the laughs.
We know you're here, Poppet. We will find you, Poppet.
Come on out, we're gonna play Ninja.
Gaiden! Hey! Hello, Poppet.
Parley.
They find Elizabeth, but she invokes the right of parley, which means she can be taken to Captain Barbossa, played by Jeffrey Rush. And just like every role he's in, it looks like he's having a blast.
I am here to negotiate the cessation of hostilities against Port Royal.
A lot of long words there, miss. We're naught but humble pirates.
Okay, so here's the thing about Will and Elizabeth in this. They are necessary characters to anchor credibility to all the goofiness going on. And in comparing the two, Elizabeth really isn't that bad. She clearly isn't trained as a fighter, so she has to use her wits to survive, and she is good at it.
That bit of shine matters to us.
Well, I suppose if it is worthless.
She has enough charm and intelligence that I don't want to see anything bad happen to her. Will, on the other hand, is so goddamn boring.
They've taken Elizabeth. We have to hunt him down. We must save her. And we're...
Yeah, he could be a little grating in some moments with his loving of Elizabeth.
Bloom wanted to play the role smooth and cool, while Verbinski kept insisting he was supposed to be a dork. It's only sword fighting that he's supposed to excel at. Everything else about him is supposed to be out of place. And he's both too suave and too bland to be out of place.
I am us!
Yeah, is that really that funny? I feel like a Nicholas Hoult, Tom Holland, or James McAvoy could pull this off with more comedy and personality. Bloom just looks like Legolas needs a bath. He doesn't leave much of an impact. With that said, though, he's not awful. He has a cute moment here and there, and clearly he's supposed to be eye candy for younger viewers. But whenever there's a scene
He is
where
pretty
he's
hot.
the focus, I constantly have to remind myself, oh, this scene was in the movie? I totally forgot that, despite seeing this several times.
You were familiar with that ship, the Black Pearl?
I've heard of it. Thankfully, he teams up with Jack Sparrow, though, who agrees to help him save Elizabeth if he can help her escape and be captain once again of the Black Pearl. There's a lot of reasons that wouldn't work, but repeat to yourself, it's just a park attraction that's been turned into a movie. I should really just relax.
It's a real MacGyver moment.
Take command of a ship, and Norrington chases after them.
So it's every cabin, every hole, down to the bilges.
Be sure to bring every last man on board. All eggs in this basket. It's Dark Knight Rises rules here.
It's not that
Of course,
stupid.
Jack and Will take over the other ship and sail off with it, having destroyed the ship they left over's cannons and rudder.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
So it would
This
seem.
guy sucks.
Maybe it's just because you suck balls.
He's the greatest pirate we've ever seen.
Will finds out that his father, named Bootstrap Bill, was indeed a pirate, much to his letdown.
Good man. Good pirate. I swear you look just like him.
Yes, they're practically identical. Again,
Yeah.
play it from the beginning. They travel to pick up his friend Gibbs as well as a crew at a place that seems to love and hate him at the same time.
Not sure I deserve that.
Seems like the Deb Hurt trial in a nutshell.
I knew he'd go there.
Lies about her last name, saying it's Turner, so they don't know she's the governor's daughter, but rather they're under the impression that she's Bootstrap Bill's child.
There's no need to stand on the ceremony. You must be hungry.
Jesus, you pig!
This is Aztec gold. A terrible curse.
Why is it every moment he's on screen I want him to sing, I'm reviewing the situation? Wow, he actually said, arr! I'm not sure why I assumed this movie wouldn't have him do that, but it's strange to see for some reason. It wasn't even prompted. Could he have at least been like, sorry, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. We needed a break from our usual Talk Like a Bored Office Worker ritual. She discovers, though, he's working with a skeleton crew who can't die or feel anything because they're cursed. But returning the gold they stole along with her blood will lift it.
Look, the moonlight shows us for what we really are.
I'm sure I said this before, but anything supernatural that has a blank leads to blank, I usually love. Pour water on a sea creature and they're revealed. Sun rises and gargoyles turn to stone. And yeah, moonbeams revealing ghost pirates is pretty damn awesome. In my opinion, it's the most fun and creative thing in the movie. I just love it.
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
And spoilers, we do make random sounds so that ghost hunters can go, what's that?
Commercial break.
Jack and Will have given themselves a crew, including Zoe Zeldana.
You stole my boat.
You'll get another one.
I will.
I don't need this. I have like 5 green screens to be in front of tomorrow. The ship sets sail and Gibbs tells Turner about how Jack had his ship taken away by Barbossa and marooned him on a desert island.
Not before he got mad with the heat.
So that's the reason for all
That's a great impression of everybody's impression of him. They get to the treasure where they return the coin along with Elizabeth's blood, but they don't know if it worked.
How do we tell?
Well, of course.
Do I need a joke for everything? Can't that just be funny?
All right, down to the depths whatever man they thought of parlay. That would be the French.
Ah, the French.
Will and Elizabeth escape.
Stinky pits and all, baby!
The blood didn't work.
The girl's blood didn't work, did it?
Hold your fire.
Despite only having a few scenes together, I instantly believe the rivalry between these two. Whenever they talk, it genuinely feels like they've known each other for years, and they love getting under each other's skin, so to speak.
You know whose blood we need. I know whose blood you need.
Jack tells him where to locate the ship, but Elizabeth has a plan of attack.
No, the anchor on the right side. On the starboard side.
Certainly has the element of surprise.
Cannons are fired, eyes are forked up, and Jack escapes just to get captured again. Yeah, he's basically the Han Solo of this series, a smuggler who always has to be saved, even in between movies. How's that plan working out, Elizabeth? You definitely got some brains, but a pirate's life ain't for you. Oh, I mean, it's what we were always building up the whole time. You know, all the bad stuff really is in the sequels, isn't it?
It's not that bad.
It's weird. For some reason, I don't think monkeys are funny, but people saying the word monkey is got
Yeah, Mario. Monkey!
To the hospitality last time. Now you return the favor.
Raping
She
time?
goes free.
Will says his blood is what they need to lift the curse and forces them to let Elizabeth and Jack go. They do so, but abandon them on the same island Jack was marooned before.
I'd be having that dress back before you go.
Goes with your black heart.
It's purple.
Would that be the same little island that we made you governor of on our last little trip? Perhaps you'll be able to conjure up another miraculous escape.
Yeah, why are you putting him back in the place he got out of again? Isn't that kind of like, oh, I know how to solve this. Oh. Jack admits it was pure luck how he got off the island before, but Elizabeth pretends to flirt with him and get him drunk so that she can set the island ablaze.
Well, the devil would like you were really bad. You got me on the show.
Sings about as well as he did in Sweeney Todd. Elizabeth's plan works as they're noticed by Norrington's ship and picked up. Jack has yet another way to weasel his way into an opportunity, though.
Think about it. The Black Pearl.
You will accompany these fine men to the helm and provide us with a bearing to Isla de Muerta.
Why do people keep listening to him?
Good question.
Pirates don't talk.
Well, she did offer to marry the
Please,
cunt.
Jack helped them capture the pearl and save Will.
Jack, it's not possible.
How did you escape from the place you escaped before? We were so careful to do the same thing. Jack tells him about Norrington's ship outside and once again gets in their good graces. It's of course a quintuple cross as Jack frees Will while the other pirates attack the ship. And as fun as the sword fighting is, I will admit, my favorite stuff is just Jonathan Pryce fighting his evil dead hand. It's such a weird thing to keep cutting back to during this big battle, and I love it. Jack steals out the piece as well and ends up being cursed. I honestly don't have many notes about this climax. Fighting in and out of the moonlight is cool. This weird thing where they put a bomb in a guy's stomach
That
is
was
cool.
awesome.
You like pain? Oh, try wearing a corset.
That line's a little lame, but overall the finale's pretty fun. Jack
Badass.
uses the bullet he's been saving for years to kill Barbossa just as Turner returns the coin with his blood.
I feel cold.
Okay, so this is admittedly a weird complaint, but for years I always thought he said, I feel old, when really he said, I feel cold. I think I feel old is a better line. I just love he would feel that as he gets feeling back and begins to die. If only the writers
No, I
could
think
have
cold
it
works.
again. The pirates go back to normal, and Verbinski on his commentary track said, this is when you realize the movie was actually kind of about something. And it sounds weird, but I know what he's talking about. These pirates spent so long trying to get this curse lifted, to stop being invincible, and now that's gone, everything else they know is about to be taken away. No words, no hammered-in symbolism, just a good, quiet moment that lets it all sink in. It's a solid scene. Once again, though, Jack is captured and about to be executed, but fear not.
Yeah,
Will helps him
real
escape
fucking
with
awful move of the
a rope.
Brits.
Really don't think it's gonna do much. Did any guard train for anything in this? Is someone gonna be like, look, salt?
Shit.
But it's cool. Elizabeth says she loves Will and not Norrington, so that convinces him to let Jack go.
What about Sparrow?
Oh, I think we can afford to give him 1 day's head start.
I love the look on this guy, like he's saying, has everyone just gone friggin' insane? We were literally just stopped by a rope. We cannot afford to give him a day's head start.
Elizabeth, it would never have worked between us, darling.
What a silly idea. We teased for 2 more movies.
Drink up, me hearty Joe.
Oh.
And that was Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Not perfect, but a damn good time. This is the definition of a turn-your-brain-off movie. Which is not to say a lot of people
Not
didn't
completely.
need to use their brains while making it. Everyone gets the
It's a
impression
fun
of
movie.
having a good time on screen. Even the ones that are a little dull still look like in a weird way they're having fun being dull. It's going to have varying degrees of believable and unbelievable, and though often cartoony, there's a bit of an edge that's welcomed with that PG-13 rating. For a film any thought would be dead on arrival, you feel the effort of everyone trying to make something odd and unique. It's a good start to a good... It's a good start. And like I said, Jack Sparrow took off and everybody wanted to be in.
To death.
Dude.
Whoa, you 2 died? I was only away 20 minutes.
Yeah, but in internet time, that's an eternity.
Also, there's the curse of the studio.
Oh, you mean you have to walk the earth for all eternity feeling nothing?
No, we just really want mixed spaghetti from McDonald's.
Oh,
What the fuck?
it's terrible.
But I want it.
They discontinued it because it was so terrible.
But I want
Good.
it.
I hate that I want it.
Come on, let's go get ourselves in silence.
Oh, Pirates Month has just begun!
I might get to the others later on, but not right now.
Ah, the French.
That was episode 1 of Pirates Month, and I enjoyed it. I think he's a little nitpicky here, but that's what the NC is known for. Still a favorite of my childhood, and I agree with the point that Orlando Bloom is definitely the weak link, but I don't think he's terrible, and Will and Elizabeth, in the first film at least, their romance was believable, and Jeffrey Rush, Keira Knightley, they definitely add a lot to the film. The Norrington character is definitely the one I hate the most, and I didn't feel sorry when they eventually took him out. I don't think Dead Man's Chest is bad anyway, and some of the stuff he gave shit to here about the compass, I didn't mind that because, again, there's already supernatural shit going on, so this isn't that hard to buy, and the whole pirate stuff with Elizabeth and the third film at World's End, I know that film gets a lot of flack, but personally, I really liked it, and watching it in the cinema was one of the most kick-ass times I had as a young film goer, and I don't mind the length. I like extra long movies. I know Roger Ebert took issue with this film's length, but I didn't mind, and in the end, Pirates of the Caribbean is, the first one at least, is a definite classic, and this is a fun review. I kind of liked how he locked Malcolm and Tamara in the room. It's hard to say what jokes are the funniest. I liked some of the callbacks, like to Super Mario Brothers, and just acknowledging the genuine fun in moments, like the guy getting shot and being like, "He shot me!" And I liked his analyzation of the sword fight between Will and Jack, and at the end how the pirates, yeah, they realize they're fucked now the curse is lifted. Overall, good review, fun, kind of like when he did Jurassic Park. He didn't love this film as much as Jurassic Park, but he still acknowledged the good as well as the flaws, and this is a good watch, and I think that's all I really have to say. I'm pretty tired when making this, so I don't have everything in tune exactly, but hope you enjoyed this reaction, and I will see y'all again very soon. Later.